Good morning. It is Thursday. I've just fueled up the car, and now it's time to go to work. You will notice there was not a video yesterday. We were supposed to be picking up my wife's new car, so I was not at work. Well, I work from home. Unfortunately, the dealership screwed up, so we still don't have the car. They can't seem to figure out how to do things in an organized fashion. Yeah, fun. Anyway, bit of a departure on recent videos today. Something that's been on my mind a little bit. I've had a couple players email me and ask about this. About advice for playing a character in a system that you don't know. Now, there's a lot of things that can be talked about in this, but the main thing that I want to focus in on is not necessarily not knowing the rules of a system, because that's something that you as a player can pick up. But how do you play a character in a world that you don't know the background of the world? Obviously that is harder, because even though you don't know the rules, if your character's from that world, they should have an understanding. But if you don't have that understanding to impart to them, it becomes very difficult. Now, I believe I may have mentioned this in passing previously, but I'm going to go back to it because it's very apt to this scenario, and because I think I might end up bringing something out of it that I didn't bring out whenever I talked about it previously. The example I want to look at is the first time I ever played Changeling. Now, you've probably heard me talk about it before. I love Changeling. But the first time I had played it, I got to the session to join a campaign in progress that I had been invited to. I never even knew the books existed until earlier that day. I worked with a girl. Yes, a girl gamer. Yep. We had been talking, and she knew that I played D&D. We had talked, and I had mentioned that I had read the rules for Vampire, World of Darkness. I had never played it, but I understood the rules for Vampire. And she kind of told me, well, this group of my friends, we've got a game going after work, and if you'd like, you're welcome to come. So I walked into a room with this girl that I had known for maybe 3-4 months at work, and met her boyfriend and 4 other people. 6, yeah, her boyfriend and 4 others that I had never met before that day. Sat down, got given a character sheet, and handed a rule book for a game that I had never seen before. And this was at the start of their session. They'd been playing for about 2-3 months at this time. So obviously they already had a working group dynamic. They already had a working player dynamic because they all knew each other. The only person I knew was the storyteller, was her. And that was where I got dropped into it. So I had to find a way to build a character that I could make sense coming into a group where I knew nothing about the world. I knew nothing about the dynamics of the people in the world. I didn't even know about what types of creatures there were in the world. So, what did I do? First thing I did, number one, I read through the basic kiths. Okay, well, that's alright. That one sounds like they really focus on knowledge. Definitely can't go with that. That one focuses on politics. Okay, no, I'm not going to mess with that right now. I finally narrowed it down to either a troll or a red cap. Big, angry bruiser things. Okay, I can understand that in basic concept at least. I'll play one of those. Okay. And then I started flipping through merits and flaws. Okay? That sometimes merits and flaws, especially in Storyteller, can help you to give you a direction for your character. Sometimes it's nice to have an idea of those before you ever move into anything else. That was something that the DM recommended. I agreed with, and at the time it saved me. Because I started flipping through the merits and flaws, and what did I find? Amnesia. Amnesia. Available as either a 3-point or a 7-point. Amnesia at 3 means that you remember most things, but you just can't think of who you are. Amnesia at 7 basically means you've forgotten nearly everything. There we go. 7-point flaw, amnesia. Why is my character fitting into the group? Because they find a troll wandering around in the area that they're exploring who has no idea who he is or why he's there. There we go. It means that I instantly had a way of joining the group because they were helping me. It also means that I have a reason why I don't understand why trolls and boggins don't get along, or I don't understand why, the trolls and the she don't like each other, or the whole Seelie, unseelie thing of them not... My character didn't know any of that. He didn't even know if he was Seelie or unseelie. He didn't even know what side he was on. He didn't know anything. So I was completely reliant then on other people in the group explaining things to me, because at the time as a player I was completely dependent on other people in the group explaining things to me. So I'm not saying every time you start a new game you need to play a character with amnesia. I mean, you could. It works. I can testify that works. It also meant that I didn't have to go with I didn't have to create any background, because I had no background. And I eventually then built background as I played and as I remembered things, and I eventually bought off the flaw until I had my memory back. But what I'm really getting at is try to find some aspect of the system and latch onto it and use that as a focal point to kind of move the fact that you don't know any of the rest of it to the background. If you want to play D&D and you want to play a character that has no clue about what's going on around him because you've never played D&D before, or with D&D it could even simply be that you are not familiar with the world you're playing in. Okay, yeah, you've played D&D, but you've never played it in Eberron before. Okay? So how do you build a character that you've never played in Eberron before? Well, you don't have a clue what the world's like. So, okay, I'm going to play a historian. Okay? Yeah, historian. I've spent all of my times reading books about distant kingdoms, and because I've been reading about all these distant kingdoms, I've never actually paid attention to what's going on around me in this kingdom. Oh, wait a minute. There are dragon somethings, and wait, what? Oh, those are the people in charge. Oh, okay, yeah. I always knew there was someone in charge, but I never really gave much thought to who it was. There you go. Or you're a fighter. Okay, you're an ex-gladiator. You're an ex-slave. You don't know much about politics necessarily, or who's at war with who. When you're a slave, you know, you get told when to eat, you get told when to sleep, you get told when to fight. So, if you don't know the world you're playing in, don't try to play a character that understands that world. Try to play a character that allows you to turn your disadvantage into a character quirk. This guy, I'm already doing 10 over the speed limit, and he's just passed me on the inside like I'm standing still. He's got to be doing at least 30 over. Some people just don't. Too much of a rush. Yeah, so play something that lets you make it seem like your lack of knowledge is in character rather than out of character. That way your character can ask questions about what's going on rather than you having to break immersion and have the player ask questions about what's going on. It's always better to ask in character if it's possible. So there you go. That's going to be it for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably cover another convention tomorrow. No, I won't. I'll cover another tradition tomorrow. So much terminology confusion. Anyway, like, subscribe, have a great day.